Hello everyone. My name is Alexis Ocampo. I am the Digital Strategy Manager at Ecopetrol. Ecopetrol is the largest oil and gas company in Colombia, South America, the fourth largest in Latin America, and it is ranked among the 30th most important companies of oil and gas in the world. And today we're going to bring to you the implementation of the Technology Acceptance Model, TAM, for digital solutions. In 2018, Ecopetrol started an ambitious program focused on guiding the organization towards a digital transformation. That program contained a digital agenda, and that agenda consisted of 10 big projects pointed towards helping the upstream, the midstream, the downstream, and the corporate businesses and segments to achieve their goals. And those projects were supported by our 7 digital capabilities. Those digital capabilities are big data, artificial intelligence, elastic computing, Internet of Things, blockchain, and robotics. An important pillar also was the digital appropriation. That is the way that we can help our customers to adopt the digital solutions. And for that, we had 2 major teams working every day on that. The UX team, whose purpose was to design solutions that were meaningful and with important relevant experiences for the users. And the appropriation team, whose purpose consisted of ensuring that those solutions positively change the way the organization interacted in the organization and with the stakeholders and groups of interest. So the technology acceptance model came into play when we wanted to merge the work of those 2 groups. So we decided to accept the model because also it was simple to instantiate, because we used a survey, and that survey was comprised of some questions that could be settled and also answered by the users in a fast manner. Those questions provided responses that were marked from 1 to 5, and they gave us a KPI and helped us to put some targets. The current target for that measurement is of 4. That means a 4 is a good value for us. When do we measure this? Basically, when we finish the delivery of a product. That could be during the construction, if we have some releases, or even after finishing the actual product. And we do that after 2 months. So the results help us to see the weaknesses and strengths of the solutions and the way we were introducing them into the company. The result up today, we have performed 2 large measurements, one in 2020 and one in 2021 so far. In 2020, we surveyed more than 1,000 customers or users. 40 digital solutions were evaluated, and we got a result of 4.1 in perceived usefulness and 3.9 in the ease of use. That is why we set the goal for 2021 as of 4. And so far, we have performed 3,000 users. I mean, we have measured 3,000 users because we learned how to do it faster from 2020. We have evaluated 80 digital solutions, and so far the results are 4 for perceived usefulness and 4 for easy of use. What happened with those results? What do we do with that? Basically, we get some insights that help us to get some actions and do some things that will help the indicator to go up. For example, we gave these insights to our technical team so that they could provide some new features or improve the stability of the solution and the user experience. The appropriation team designed new training and communication alternatives, and they were deployed effectively. We went to the leaders and we focused the mobilization on them because we knew that their help was important for the incorporation of the tool. And finally, we defined new deployment strategies that help us to be more effective and efficient when doing the transition into production of those data solutions. So we got 2 insights. One example was the petrotechnical digital place. This example is for solutions that are out of the box. Here, this is something where 600 employees that are distributed in Brazil, USA, Gulf of Mexico, and Colombia. They are geophysicists and geologists. They contribute in the exploration process, and that solution was based on elastic computing, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and big data capabilities. When we released the digital place, we got measurements that were not that satisfactory. However, we designed with the appropriation team some techniques and tactics for enhancing those numbers. And please note that in this case, we could not change the tool because it is an out-of-the-box tool. An example of what we did as a tactic was, for example, we had a dedicated help desk with personal attention available for the stabilization phase. We also carefully designed learning spaces and pieces so that people could learn faster and in a more comfortable manner. Communities of practice were created where they could exchange lessons learned and they could have conversation spaces for adopting the tool. So we created this exchange of experiences among all of the distributed geologists and geophysicists. And with that, we got better results with respect to the perceived usefulness and ease of use and all of the different variables. As you can see in this slide, we went to 403 and also up to 417 in the ease of use. This is another example, our visualization of other results. And in this one, we can see how also the dispersion of the perception improved in both variables, the perceived usefulness and the perceived ease of use, after we introduce our techniques and strategies for this digital place. Another example, which is interesting, and this is the second scenario. In this case, it is a portal called eConnection Gas, which is also an official repository for our products, gas, refined, and petrotechnical. And in here, basically, we have the pre-orders of our clients or customers. It is available for more or less 1,200 customers so far. And in this case, we have had only a single measurement. The difference in here is that with the lessons learned from previous measurements, we know more or less what to change in order for numbers to go up. And in this case, the user experience team, especially on the preparation team, they have been working together, getting those lessons learned and designing the solution so that we can get numbers as you can see here. For example, the perceived ease of use of 4.55 and the perceived usefulness of 4.18. So at the end, the technology acceptance model allowed us to measure the perception of users and to use it as an effective input for our appropriation plans. And those results provide insights also for considering new features. Now we are learning more and more, and from those learnings, we are also using them in the UX design and in the preparation plans design. That's everything from my side, and we look forward to listen to your questions.
So thank you for another excellent presentation, and we have here with us Alexis Ocampo, who can take questions on the work. So please, anybody participating who has questions, please put them to the chat window and I can take them and have a discussion with Alexis on them. So, I mean, one of my questions, Alexis, is what is the best impact that you see this type of model having in an industrial setting?
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, well, the best impact is to see that actually once we have the results and we change the variables, or at least we try to change the applications or the appropriation strategy, we actually see the effects. That means that it has been very useful and appropriate. I mean, sometimes you do some service and you think, you wonder whether it will be accurate or not, but in this case, we are confident that the results are leading us in a good path.
Okay, so thank you for that. So I see Jens Heydrich has a question also, which I will call out. Thank you for the nice talk about TAM. Indeed, thank you. What were the major lessons learned and recommendations for others using TAM?
Yeah, well, for example, the sample set that we had from users that were actually doing the survey, one major lesson learned was that we suppose that 100 was good, but it was a good sample, but actually 10% of that population answered the survey. So we needed to be more aggressive on the way we deployed the survey and to, let's say, extend the sample, because we saw that this was going to be not that easy at the moment. And Another major lesson learned is that the appropriation, I mean, the cultural change is really key to be, I mean, to accompany this process, to be beside the process. And in this case, the appropriation team and the preparation group was very important for achieving the results we wanted to achieve. So I would say those are the two major lessons learned that we have from this study.
Okay, thank you for that, Alexis. So we have another question from Igor Steinmacher. How do you manage to extract or derive what needs to be changed? Was there any process to do that in place, or was it ad hoc?
Well, the results from the survey gave us a good lead for actually extracting what needed to be changed. We have done that, let's say, twice now, and in the first round it was more ad hoc. In the second round, we sort of knew what was going to be the pattern, you know. So we are learning with each round of surveys, we are learning to understand how our population behaves and to extract the patterns and then to derive the actions that we need for that.
Okay, thank you for that also, Alexis. So, I mean, generally speaking, two quick questions. We have probably less than a moment. Well, actually, I take Stan's question instead. So Stan's question is, how would you characterize the level of support that you received from company management and the degree of receptivity that you saw in the employee and users?
Okay, thanks. Well, Stan, so at the beginning it was not high from management. However, there was one vice president that actually supported the initiative and put it as a KPI for the whole vice presidency, and that was very important. And in the second round, now after two rounds, is completely high. I would say actually we are planning to take this to the board of directors because everyone has seen the benefits of using this, especially because it's not difficult to implement. It is a survey. You can answer it in 10 minutes. So actually, that has helped a lot.
Thank you, Alexis. We're against the clock, as you know, so we have to
Yes.
jump to the next talk. The next talk is entitled Hierarchical Distribution of Consistency Relevant Changes in a Collaborative Engineering Environment. The authors are Michael Alexander Trolls, Atif Mashkur, and Alexander Ajet.